Good morning, hello, and happy Friday. It's always nice to be a Friday. I think I've got everything set up here and working correctly today. Yeah, it looks like it. All right, so today we're going to be re-recording the refactor. Yeah, it's a refactor because we're not changing any behavior whatsoever. So it's going to be a refactor of the solution for the Introduction to You course to use the latest version of Yewdux. Esitsu, hello, and good morning. How are you doing today? Let's pull you up. Okay, so I've got you up and running. I've got you up and running. All right, let's don't really know if there's anything special to prepare for. We might be able to just jump in. Um right, there's not really much. Okay, so let's today's been good so far. Still plenty of time left for everything to come crashing down though. I mean, that's one way to think of it, I suppose. But it's also Friday, so if nothing like makes you stay late, then that's the best, right? It's a sprint Friday for me, which means that in the afternoons, that's a problem for next week. Exactly, exactly. That's how present me feels about it. It's not my problem. It's future me problem. It's sprint week for me, which means that we're doing some sprint meetings in the morning, and then we're probably going to get together and play some games this afternoon as part of the company, and that's always a fun time. Okay, so we've got that. Um, Steven, hello. Linux or Mac? Yes. So I use Mac a lot for my work stuff. So like work gives me a Mac. I was a Mac systems administrator for 8 years, so I know like I know a lot about it. Um, and it sort of makes it easy for me to like work with it. But I also like Linux, specifically the sort of Ubuntu flavored of Linux for like daily drivers if I'm using that, or at least programming on it. I definitely like Linux for servers, Windows for gaming, and also like doing things like streaming out. So this is a two computer setup. What I have a Windows computer with a monitor up above me, and then I have the Mac. My Linux computer right now is dead with a dead hard drive, and so I need to fix that. Every programmer you meet says Linux is better. I I try not to say one thing is better than the other. Linux is really good for a lot of different things. Mac is really good at things that it does. Windows is good for the few things that it does really well, and it does those like way better than everybody else. So I think like that's why I just usually say yes. I It's more of like what can I do and what do I have and do I have the money to afford all the things? Zilby, hi. You want to come here? Zilby, don't just slow blink at me from across the room. Come over here. Okay, fine. I'll throw a mousey for you. I've got a little mousey for him. And go. All right. Haha, Uncle Scientist, you haven't met me yet. Also welcome, Stephen, Uncle Scientist, Stacking. Anybody who tells me how to use the tool, then they might be a tool. Yeah, that could be an interesting way to like to respond back to him. Is like, well, I mean, I can't program on you, so therefore I'm going to just use whatever tool that I work with best. And I guess like this is a really good reminder for anybody who's like ever wondering whether or not you're using the right tool for the job. The real answer is, are you able to deliver the end results to the customer? Because that's all that really matters. If the customer isn't able to do what they want to do, it doesn't matter if you're using the best tool or you're learning the best tool. You have failed to deliver them the thing they want to. And if you have succeeded to it, even if it's not the right tool, then it doesn't matter. All right. So, okay. Got all this stuff set up and ready to go. Let's start on this screen. Okay, and I'm not recording, so this time when I start recording, it's actually going to record. So that's a good thing. All right, let's do this. For those of you who aren't familiar with this, when I record a lesson, I'm not really checking chat. I will see it, but I won't respond audibly to it unless I can somehow work it into the course. This is going to be a longer one and probably take up a majority of the stream. We are doing a major refactor of our state management tool in the solution project. So it's just all being done, and I think it's going to take over half an hour to do. So, that being said, sorry if I miss any messages. No store type this time. I'm going to change the type to the store because some of them are being used, but then I'm not going to just use store type everywhere else. I'll just use the store. And now that should be fine. Can we crack jokes to try to make you laugh? Absolutely. I think several people have tried that in the past, and I've almost been gotten, but not yet. Did I look into EdgeDB yesterday? No, I did not fully look into EdgeDB. I basically added it to my list of things to look into. I also sent messages out to other people, like another Discord server that I'm a member of, and one person was like, use Neo4j or just use Postgres, and even if it's like even if it makes it really hard for you to like put in the schema and figure all those things out. I'm like, okay, I'll think about it. The other thing is like this data set that I want to use for is going to be used in machine learning applications too. So that's also something I forgot to mention, is that I don't know what that means or what that's going to look like, but it's going to be used in machine learning. And supposedly graph databases are really good at machine learning. Also, sorry for everybody who doesn't get that. There was a conversation in Discord about about graph databases. All right, so I'm going to start over here, and then we're going to jump into it. All right, here we go. So far, and immediate cancel. So far, what was I thinking of that? Starting lesson is always the most difficult. Okay, I want to start with Yewdux have updated. Let's try again. Take two. Yewdux has updated their version, which means that it's a lot easier and cleaner to get access to and get out of the centralized store. However, the new version of Yewdux is not compatible with the version of Yewdux that we used in the project, well, in the to-do project. So in this video, we're going to go over and update the version of Yewdux to the latest version. That way, in case any of you did go through and use the same version that I did, this should also sort of like show you how we update that and how we get to the end. And of course, if you didn't use that, then this is a good video to show that how the Rust borrow checker and compiler really helps us change things and refactor without worrying too much. Let's dive into it. So the first thing that I like to do when I'm ever doing these major refactors is like just try to decide where to start. And in this case, I want to start by removing Yewdux functional because this is no longer needed for us. Everything that we need is actually going to be just in Yewdux plain, including all the functional stuff. I don't have Yewdux in here, so I'm going to add it in. And we're going to go to 08. Oh, wait, no, we did have it in there. I missed it. We're going to update this to 082. And we'll let Rust Analyzer hopefully restart with that. And the next thing is the store itself. We want to update that to work with, then everything else will sort of be forced to update. Let's go into store here. We only have a single store in this project, which is this store right here. So first of all, we need to add in a derive store. And right away, I'm not getting any help, so Rust Analyzer is having a little bit of trouble after I updated the cargo.toml. Let's go ahead and restart the Rust Analyzer server. I have been noticing that Rust Analyzer has been getting a little bit faster since when I recorded the video. So if you haven't been keeping the Rust Analyzer plugin up to date, I highly recommend that you do so. All right, are you a little bit happier now? Can I bring in store? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I can bring in the proc macro store, and I also need to bring in partial equal. All right. Let's fix all the errors in this file first. First of all, it says it can't find this persistent store anymore. It doesn't exist. So store type, we don't really need this anymore because it's just going to be, it would essentially be store type equals store, which why bother using this? Let's just get rid of it. Now, if we do want persistency, there is some help for us. Open up our browser and go searching for it. Yewdux now, so if we head to crates, search for Yewdux. Yewdux now has a book. So if we go into that, it actually has a guide and a specific section for persistence in store. They actually show us here, we can use this macro to have everything here be stored in local storage. So we don't have to do the entire manual implementation anymore. So we are going to add that right here for our store. And then the next thing, store dispatch. That's actually just dispatch store type. So I don't think I need this one either. Let's go ahead and get rid of you. We don't need this impl persistent for store. We are manually implementing default to control the default values. That's fine. And we're adding in, we have these functions like get task by ID as part of store. That's also fine. We can keep those. All right, so everywhere we have this like stored dispatch, we have to have a specific type for this. So let's go ahead and replace all of these. So this is a dispatch with store. All right, and we got a huge sea of errors here. Now, this is yelling at us not because reduce is not allowed, but because reduce changed how it works. Previously, we would get the store and we just update it and it's fine. But now we're getting this RC store out of reduce. And notice that it's not mutable. It's not, we can't get like a mutable reference out of it. Instead, what it's expecting us to do if we take a look at the documentation here, it's expecting that this function returns the R, and the R is the into RC store. So it actually, to make this work, we could create a brand new store. So let's clone the store. So that mute store equals store.clone. We update the store, and then we return the store. And that actually works, but that's kind of not the best looking thing. There's another way to do it. If we make this, let's go down to this one and update it, this one here. If we make this reduce mute, then we notice that we actually get a mutable reference to the store. All right, so now I can just do store.task equals task.data. I hit save, and this one is just fine. So that's all I have to do. I can just change all these reduces to reduce mute, and I won't have any more errors. Let's go ahead and update all of these. And I want you to be reduce mute. Hit save, and no more errors in this file. Excellent. Okay. Now it's going to be as simple as opening up our error, our problems list, and then just clicking on the first error and just figuring out what we need to do here. So first of all, we've removed store type, so we can get rid of that. We've removed Yewdux functional, so we can get rid of U. But for wherever we have this Yewdux functional, if we don't have a Yewdux prelude already, let's go ahead and bring that in, because everything we need is inside the prelude. Okay, down here, we have a use store, and this is to get the message, specifically the error message, out of the store. There's a much better and easier way to get it out now. But what we can do is we can do it in a two-step process. First, we're going to get the store, and then we can get the stuff out of the store. So we're going to do let equals use store. We put in the store type here, which in this case is just store. So we want create store like that. Now this gives us a tuple here, which you can see gives us the store, an RC store, and then it gives us the dispatch right here. So we have our store and dispatch. Now to get the message out, we can replace all of this. We can just do store dot error message. Will you figure it out? Stare dot error message, I believe it was. Oh, come on, Rust Handler, help me out. Maybe we need to save and get it. Okay, so I want that message equals store, RC Dyn store. Okay, I want that one. Then I want message. You're not finding it. Let's come back in here. So we have this error message is exactly what we want out of here. Did I pull in the wrong thing here? I might have pulled in the wrong thing. So I have create. I don't know if I want that self. I have create store, and then the store type. That's fine. You're not being used. You should be being used right here. Error message store dot error message dot clone. Oh, see, well, that was fine getting it. Now it's not upset about this. Okay, so I just wasn't getting help from Rust Analyzer there. All right, wherever we have store type here, I want to reset this to just be store. And then I actually don't need to get the dispatch, do I? Because we already have it. So I'm just going to delete that line. Okay, next up, we want to do this store reset error message. So if we head back in here, where is reset error message in here? Here it is. Reset error message. It takes in a dispatch, which then does the thing. Okay, we can do that. So store reset error message. Oh, right. And so this is where we want to do something like create store reset error message. Just grab it all out, or I can pull that out up here. So here's store. I want reset error message. And let's use that down here. Okay, and actually I think this file is done now. Let's move on to the next one. All right, so we have Yewdux functional. Let's just start from the top. Okay, so everywhere we have store type, this is just going to become store. So I want store. Yewdux functional, I want to do Yewdux bring in the prelude. I'm hitting save in between each change to let Rust Analyzer have, get a chance to sort of refigure things out and then display what the real problems are. All right, next up, token. So usually what I like to do is grab the store and dispatch out at the root level of the component. This is inside of a block here. So let's go ahead and pull it out right here. So we can have our store and our dispatch. Use store and pull in store. Then here for token, I want to pull this in as store.token, and we'll clone that out. Dispatch we already have, so I don't need to pull that out again. And this file seems to be done. All right, next up. No store type. We have this store here, so I'm actually good to go there. Yewdux functional, but I already have the Yewdux prelude here, so I can just remove this entire line. All right, looking at our error messages. First of all, we're using this uStore persistent store. All right, well, I can change you to just go to store. And you're going to return the tuple store and dispatch. So let's update you to be correct. So store and dispatch. Here we're going to grab the token out of the store. So let's go ahead and update that. We have store.token clone. Dispatch. Okay, so you are, I don't need the dispatch anymore. I already have it. That's not an error message. Sort of like a light version of red, but it's not exactly the same color of red. Okay, so then this one is using, okay, so get from store. This takes in a store. How are we using this? So right here. Okay, so get from store. Oh, well, that's just getting the username and the token. And if we take a look at the implementation here, it's grabbing just store.username and store.token out. So, I don't actually need this function anymore because it's a lot easier to get this out of the store. So I'm going to say let username equals store.username, clone you out. We can get references out, but I kind of need the ownership of it in this app, so this is fine. All right, so save you, and you're fine. Down here, okay, that's no longer an error, so I think this file is done. Next one. Okay, everywhere we have this store type, we want to replace it with store. We have this Yewdux functional. I don't see another Yewdux. So let's go in and get the prelude. And okay, so next up, we're inside of a block here. Let's grab out the store and dispatch outside here. So let store dispatch use store. Okay, so if I get you, then to get the token, we can just grab it out of the store. So store that token, clone that. Dispatch we already have, so I don't need to do that. We do our callback. Now, I could potentially try to replace this callback with a dispatch reduce mute callback with, but I sort of feel that there's some interesting problems that we'll run into, especially because we're using like the wasn't-bind and futures. For this refactor, I just want to do the bare minimum changes, make sure everything works, and then later on, if we really want to, we can come back. I'm not going. That's going to be out of the scope for this this video, though. All right, this file seems to be good. Let's move on to the next one. Unresolved import store type. Okay, so that's exactly the same problem that we've had previously. Let's replace this with store. Also, we have the Yewdux functional here. Let's replace this with a Yewdux prelude. We are trying to get the token out of the store. So let's grab the store and the dispatch here. And then the token is going to be, we just grab this. No, I shouldn't really need to tell you that you're a type string. So token equals, have I been skipping that? I think I may have been skipping that before. It doesn't really matter if I like hard code the type or not. It's going to be fine. So we're going to do store.token and clone that out. We don't need this dispatch anymore because we already have it. And I don't see any errors left or warnings in this file. So let's move on. Okay, this is add task. So unresolved import store type. Let's go ahead and fix this one. I'm going to bring in store. Yewdux functional. I don't see a Yewdux in here, so let's replace this with the prelude. And then down here, okay, so we have a block and we're grabbing stuff from the store and the dispatch. So let's go ahead and get that out here. So let store dispatch equals store, okay. Then in the token, I want to do store.token and clone you out. This dispatch we already have, so I don't need you. And no more errors in this file. Okay, excellent. Next up, unresolved imported to Yewdux functional, but we already have a Yewdux prelude, so I can just remove this entire line. And we have one error down here where we're trying to grab the store, and we're using a persistent store. So let's replace you with just a call to store. Store, okay. And you need to be store and then dispatch. And I don't need to get the dispatch separately. Okay, so in this block, if I want to store dispatch, I could just clone this off of dispatch like that. And that seems to be this file. Okay, excellent. Next up, in our use crate, we have store type again. Looks like we have store type. I think I actually want to replace this with just store here. Yewdux functional, we want to replace that with the prelude. And okay, so let's grab, we're not getting the store stuff out here, so let's grab that right here. So let's store and dispatch. Store, call that. And now where we have this token, we can do store.token.clone. Okay, and then this dispatch we already have. We can clone the dispatch from just dispatch. And one more error down here. Okay, so to get the task out, we have to run this get task by ID. So shouldn't be a problem. Let's do store.get task by ID, and we're going to pass in props.id. Because this is edit task, so the props ID will be the ID that we want. And then this returns an option. So I want to unwrap or default. And that should get us the task that we want. Okay, next up. Store type. Okay, so there's no such thing as store type. Let's go ahead and replace all these store types with just store. Yewdux functional. I don't see another Yewdux there, so let's put the prelude in. We have a few errors in here, all about getting stuff out of state. So if I look at this, where we have, I wasn't consistent here. So it's not the best. I'm trying to think like, can I use multi-cursor to just do this all in one go? Maybe at least these three. So if I select map, I want essentially this. I want to copy you out, and that's going to be essentially what we keep off of store. So I'm just going to come. Oh, I didn't create a store here. Well, I'll do that in a second. I'm going to go back to the beginning of that line, go down to here, go to the end of the line here, and so we're going to say store dot this thing. There we go. That's going to be how we get that out. Oh, we do need store out. So we're going to say let store dispatch equals use store. Filter on change, that's just grabbing this dispatch. We already have a dispatch, so I can actually just dispatch clone you into that block. Callback from. Okay, so everything else seems to be fine here. Dispatch. Okay, so you same exact thing. Let's just clone the dispatch in. You token. Okay, so to grab the token out, which I haven't already, it's just going to be this token clone. So we're going to do store.token.clone it. And oh, that's this file done. Okay. Next up, Yewdux functional, but I do see that we use Yewdux here. So let's just get rid of that line. Next up, we have grabbing the store out, we're using this persistent store. So let's go back to just store and replace you with a tuple, store, and dispatch, which also means this dispatch I don't really need anymore. Although I noticed that they're calling this store dispatch. So I'm actually going to put that right here as store dispatch. And that way everything else should just work. I don't have to change any other variable names. Okay, that seems to be good. Let's come over to the last two errors. We have a store type. Okay, so let's select you, everything here, and replace you with store. Okay, we have a Yewdux functional. I don't see another Yewdux. Let's replace this with a prelude. All right, so task, use store. All right, so let's get the store out. Store and a dispatch. And to get the task, we want to run the get task by ID and pass in the props. And then it's going to be this unwrap our default. So actually I want to just copy these out. And we're going to do store dot and run that. I missed one extra parentheses that I don't need. Okay, so that gives me the task because we are in one task here. We have a block and we're trying to pull in like is logged out, which is this token is empty. So I can actually just copy this and that becomes store dot that. Error message becomes this. I use store here, so I can just do store error message clone and replace all of you. Dispatch, we already have a dispatch, but I'm in this block here, so we can clone dispatch out. And that's this file. Okay, two more errors just sort of appeared here. Cannot assign data into an RC. So this is in store. Oh, right. Okay. So if I was trying to do this style where I have this RC, I don't want to just clone the RC itself. I want to clone the thing in the RC. So I want to do a .dref. And that gives me the store, and then everything works. Okay. Then we have some warnings here. So we are in create account, and we don't really need the store. All we needed was the dispatch. So I'm going to go ahead and we could just grab dispatch separately by just, getting dispatch, or I can just leave you with an underscore in case we need the store in the future. I think that's what I'm going to do here. Unused variable. We also don't need the store here, so that's underscore you. And that's it. I have no more errors or warnings. If we head over to our terminal, Trunk has recompiled everything. So let's head over to our browser and make sure everything is still working. So if I hit refresh, let's create a new account. Okay, I can create the new account. It sees my username. Let's add a new task. It'll be that task description. Let's give it a priority B. There that is. It's showing up at the front. So now I should be able to sort them. That seems to be working. Filtering them also is still working. We don't have any priority C tasks. If I go in here, I should be able to edit it still. So add in a bunch of A's at the end. That's good. I should be able to mark it as completed. come back to here. You are completed. And then finally, we can delete the task. Okay. Everything seems to be good. And then we'll just log out at the end there. So that was us refactoring the solution to use the latest version of Yewdux. So if you're going to follow in the footsteps and do the same thing, good luck to you. I don't think, like, trust in Rust. Let it help you out. And the compiler, if things don't work, the compiler will tell you exactly what went wrong, and you should be able to figure it out easily. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. All right, and that is a little over half an hour. You're surprised that worked? It was, Rust Analyzer was not happy with that. I think the problem was when I didn't do the deref clone, it just freaked out and stopped giving me good error messages here. So like with some of these things where I'm doing, let me find like tasks, when I'm getting like the token out of the store. So it's like token dot or store dot token. Oh yeah, it was using the store trait from the Yewdux prelude. You can reorder the imports to use the correct one or rename it. Oh, is that what's happening? Yeah, it is. It is interesting that the compiler figured it out, but Rust Analyzer did not. It was using the store trait from the Yewdux prelude. Right, because the name of the store is probably a bad name. If we change that to be literally anything else, like main store, or main stage, or whatever, then this would not have been a problem. Oh, and that's the reason why previously when I did it without changing store type, then it worked, because that type is a different type. Okay, that makes sense. All right. Okay, so let me go ahead and get this. I'm in recording solution, so I want to add this in. So refactored to use latest version of Yewdux. I'll go ahead and publish this, and I'll create a I'll merge it in, or I'll pull request it in. Yeah, do that, submit. Not that Firefox, that Firefox. Oh, right, I forgot. I'm not logged in. Oh, great. I think that might be why the reason it keeps on prefers grouping imports with ones from your own crate after third-party ones. Oh, yeah, that also makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Or why it keeps on pulling in self. Yeah, it's a thing to learn for future ones. Now in the future, building separate stores is the best way to go about it. And if you're using multiple stores, having 2 words to describe each store is probably really helpful, like auth store or some like descriptor with it. So I don't actually think it's going to be a problem anymore. Okay, so I'm going to GitHub. All right, let's find this. This is in, nope, wrong one. That's my work one. That one. Here's our pull request. Double check this really quickly. Okay, so I've got our, I actually really enjoy this new folder view that GitHub gives us. It makes checking these really easy. Okay, so cargo.toml, that should show us just the, yeah, Yewdux version change. That's fine. Oh, that's fine. Okay, so in source, error message, task edit. Okay, so all these sort of changing that's going to be fine. Okay. So let's merge it in. And I don't need that branch anymore, so let's delete it. All right. Don't need you. I need to remember one of these days to log into GitHub after the stream instead of just immediately going upstairs and forgetting about it until the next time I'm streaming and I need to use GitHub for something. Okay, and then in here, let's I can remove this branch. So I can do let's do git switch to main. I'm gonna pull down. I want to get branch. That was recording solution, I think. Yeah, that was the name of it, right? Git branch dash d recording solution. Yeah, okay. Has been merged there, but now yeah, it has. I mean, I think that was the branch. Oh, it might be solution Yewdux update. Okay. Git branch. Something about Yewdux. Solution Yewdux update. Not fully merged. Might have to go through and like actually just figure out what these branches are and delete them all later. Well, it's not going to matter much. I have all that stuff in here in main now. Okay, so I have next up, I need to name this video. Oh, we have the first one, which is less than a megabyte. I don't want that one. I want you rename this as solution refactor to Yewdux. And I want to throw that into the cloud drive. Okay, so I should be able to. Yeah, okay. So I have a bunch of these videos that I now need to upload to YouTube. I need to put on the ending little screen, and I put on like the beginning one. I still haven't done that for the other ones yet. I need to find all of those assets too, because I don't remember exactly where they are. All right, but that is updating the full stack to do Rust course, specifically with for you and Yewdux. I really like it, which I realized that I also need to update our the platform project too. But I'm trying to decide whether or not I want a separate sort of landing screen web application, like website, and then one like a different one for courses, or if I want that to be like just a mono application. And I'm thinking I might rename the platform, like the platform, to just the like landing or like the stream website, and then have like courses be a separate app. Feels like it might be the best way to go. Uh, that's where like having a designer to chat with might be helpful for me. Okay, so what's next? What do we want to do the rest of the day? I have like half an hour. I have half an hour left. Let's close this up. We could continue going back into. Oh, you know what? It was still in this same repo. It was in the learning Axum section. So I don't need solution anymore. So I can remove you and I can remove you. Forget where we were with learning Axum. So I started the backend server, but I don't think I really want that for this, do I? Was it PS? Yeah, I probably want to bring you down. It has active endpoints. Okay, hold on. What did I do to bring it up? Okay, I did this. Let's bring you down. Oh, I need to do it with the exact profile. Otherwise, it doesn't recognize it. Strange. My preview just reset and stopped showing me video. That's fun. OBS still shows that I'm recording though, so hopefully I am. Oh, you know what else we can do? We can bring in chat back. Where's my chat? There's chat there. All of these windows get, well, I'll do them when we need to. Okay, so that removed that one. I think all I need is the database running. So I can just do docker compose up. Oh, I probably wanted a -d just for the database. Okay, so you're up and running and ready to accept connections. I want another window here, and I want to start. Oh, I'm in the wrong branch, aren't I? This was probably playing with Axum, wasn't it? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so then I want to do cargo watch. And we left with some errors. Okay, nice. Treat objects must include the dyn keyword. Where was this? Okay, this is in source routes users. Source routes users. Line 44. Okay, so you're responding. So create user route. Dyn handler. Oh, okay. So you're upset. Trying to send a handler out that does send size and static. Right, okay, so we're trying to create a user. Trait objects must include the dyn keyword. Add dyn keyword before this trait. Oh, before clone. Interesting, okay, well. The value of the associated type future must be specified. Line 44. Should you be async? Or is it pub async or is it async pub? Pub async, of course. Okay, the trait handler cannot be made into an object. The trait cannot be made into an object because it requires self-sized. So wait, pubmod config. Why are you telling me? Is it just because of like this file, or why on pub? That seems odd. I almost feel that I want to get rid of, or is it something in config? No, you're fine here. So it's very unhappy with. Okay, there's our routes, our users. We're in the middle of. Okay, so we have create users and our mod users that. Okay, so let's say I didn't do this. Comment you out. Suddenly no problems anymore. Okay, so all the problems in the universe are created by this. Okay, so I want to create a route that allows me to, well, obviously create a user, right? So let's try this again. So pub async function create user route. We're going to bring in the PG connection. So connection is a mutable reference to PG connection. Now, then we close this off and we need to return. And then this is where things got weird. Now, back up here, I'm returning things like JSON user response. Why do I need to do this? And then I was trying to return create user. Or was going to call create user. Why do I need this at all? Like if I have create user, I'm confused about all of this. So what happens when you stop doing stuff for a while? Okay, so let's get rid of the warnings too. Okay, so I have this database connection and I'm not using it at all. Establish the connection. This is in the main library in U. Extension config. Let's run. Oh, I created two background. Here you go. Let's run our test too. So we want to go into. So out of Rust, we want to go to full stack Rust course, go into the integration test backend. Okay, and I want to do, I think, do I already have this in here? Yeah, we could just do npm test. That's going to run some jest tests for us. Failed. Okay. DL open. Oh, I have this environment. I think I want to do like a source. I believe I want to do a source on that .env here. .env, um, and then npm test. I have the test files here. Not a mock O file. I have node modules. I should have node. Yeah, I vaguely remember this stuff too, but um my okay, so you're running, so database is running ready to accept connections. You're oh, okay. What? Linking with CC failed. You were running just fine. What happened? Whoa, what? Why you suddenly stop working? Linking with CC. Okay, and then can I find what exactly in here are you having problems with? It's always a lot of fun to look through these. Library not found for LPQ, LD, Clang error, linker command failed with exit. Did I like install an update and then now I need to like reinstall my C libraries? Um, or was it something else? Um, just to make sure cargo run, yeah, has the same error. So it's not this doesn't have anything to do with like cargo watch like having weird issues. Okay, so I wonder with a Mac, there could be some xutils type thing. LPQ was from using diesel, wasn't it? Wait, did I have a different? Oh, I had a different branch for CORM. Oh, that's what it was. That's what it was. Okay, hold on. Hold on. All right, so you're fine. Everything is fine. Okay, I think I get it now. So get branch. We need CORM here. Status. Let's get reset. Okay. Oh, we'll do get check out CORM. I bet this was it. Okay. So you're still running there. I want to do a cargo watch here. Okay, you're happy there. You backend tests. Let's try this again. You still have this issue though. How do you tell if someone wants to be your friend? As an adult, that is hard. That is a very difficult question. If like somebody is trying to just chat with you um about things that they don't need something from you and just trying to like enjoy your company, that's like, that's essentially them acting as a friend. Yeah, let's go ahead and remove the node modules and the package lock. That's my like sort of atomic method of redoing these again. And it usually works. If you always initiate the conversation is that bad, it won't give you the metrics potentially of like whether or not they want to do that. So is it bad? Maybe, maybe not. Is But I don't know. Like, it might be that you like them more than they like you at that point in time. Okay, so let's do npm test again. There we go. Okay. Connection refused. Okay, so if your connection refused, you are connection error. Pull timed out. We're waiting for an open connection. Well, why are you running out? Oh, do I have to do source.env here? Try again. Connection refused. You're running. What are you running on? So you're clearly trying to connect to localhost port 3000. You are okay. So you're failing to start. Pull timed out. We're waiting for an open connection. You didn't open up properly. Okay, so let's down. Docker compose up. Okay. Let's see. Do I want cargo to accept incoming network connections? No, I don't. I can always go in and change that later if I need to, but I don't think cargo should be accepting incoming network connections. All right. So now, are you actually running though? I can't remember if there's like a log, like a print line, when this actually sets up and connects to the database. We run you. You're taking longer this time. Panicked, no entry found for key X auth token. So routes users line 140. Okay, so routes users line 140. Aha, okay, so it's getting to here. We're trying to grab the X auth token. No entry found. Oh, and you look like you're working now. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So I think we're back on track. So should get an error when using an authenticated route without a token. So cannot read properties of a defined reading status. Okay, so I got expect to get a 401 because we got a like no error whatsoever. Let key equals So wait a second. If I'm doing this, does this give me an error? Yeah, it panicked when it can't find that key. So we have to use a different method of getting the headers out. We have to check to see if it has the key. Can we actually do that? Can we check to see if you have it first? So I want headers dot what are you? You're a header map, which is a struct. I can iter and maybe find it in there. I can get the keys and check it in there. I'm wondering if they have like a try get, or just a get. Yeah. Do they have a get? Wait, I'm outside of it now. Did I miss get? There's get all. Hmm. Oh, there it is. Headers.get. Okay. Oh, and that returns an option. Okay, so then I want this to be an X auth token. So I want if let some, this is gonna be token equals you. Yeah, looking through the docs is a lot easier sometimes than looking outside of this. So let's do this as that token equals that and return the token out. That gives me a reference to the token, the header token like this. Okay, so that's fine. Oh, so this is the key. So I want that. I don't need this anymore. And we're going to do an else. All right, so if you are a none, if you're not this thing, then I want to return with a 401 error, which I believe that we can do an early return now. So error, error new. All right, so status code. This needs to be a 401. And what did your error message? Well, just not authenticated like that. I can't remember if I can just do this. Error new. Oh, you need to be an error. Okay, so hold on. This is a error. Oh, I think we're using this. Error. That. Status code. Oh, you want to be an actual status code, not just a number. Status code. Forbidden? What was 401? Does header map have the map error feature? Good question. Let's find out. So if I do headers, no method name map error in there. So no, it does not. Because then you can avoid the if let and do key equals whatever.get. Oh yeah, but I think it's not The problem is it doesn't know that it's a problem until I check for it. I guess like what I could do is, oh yeah, I could do that. I could do that. Hold on. That's a better idea. So here, if we do, let's do this again. So key equals headers dot get. The key is X API token. That was the error, right? That was the header. X auth token. Auth token. That gives me an option, and so then I want to map. Okay or else. Yeah, okay or else. That returns a result. Okay, so okay or else. This is a function here. So I want this. And we're going to question mark u. Okay, so can convert the error. So I need to return the appropriate error from here. Okay, so this is going to be a if else. We're going to do a the error couldn't be found, so it's going to be an app error new status code. There's forbidden unauthorized, I believe, is what I want. I want an error, and this is not authenticated. And that's what we return out. Okay, yeah, so much cleaner. I keep on forgetting about the map error and okay or else, but it makes everything a lot cleaner and nicer. Okay, so if I just do that, we rerun these tests. Let's see if it passes that one. Which means we're nicely handling these errors in the case of not using it right. We don't crash anymore. Yep, and there we go. We now get an error when using an authenticated route without a token. Okay, so excellent. That's all of the user CRUD now successfully done. Okay, excellent. So next would be task CRUD, create a task. Okay, so my alarm just went off, so I need to head up and start heading to work. But create a task. I don't know. I feel like we should be able to get this all done in one stream. And then the other ones might be a little bit more because there's more tests to them. We'll see. Like it's sort of unknown, but CORM has actually been really easy to get up and working with. I remember we were able to get it working in like less than a stream. We had it up and running. I think we maybe actually struggled diesel for like 2 streams, 3, and then pivoted. Work is where the heart is. Work is where the money comes from too. So there is that. All right. Let's go ahead and I'm going to, yeah, I don't really have anything to raid right now, so let's go ahead and head out for the day. It is Friday, which means no stream tomorrow, and I've not been streaming on Sunday, so I'll be back in. Oh, is CJ streaming? Oh, CJ is streaming. So hold on, let me set up a stream to what is CJ on Coding Garden working on? Oh, it's starting soon. Okay, perfect. Let's just start the raid. I have no idea what CJ is going to do. CJ is, I worked with CJ actually. We were both teachers. At the time, used Unraid. Wait, what? Oh, start again. Oh, because I can press back. I have to sit here and now I can't see chat. Okay, well that's cool. I guess I could look at the preview method. So CJ is a pretty awesome streamer. He is working on web dev stuff and building courses behind the scenes, doing a lot of really cool stuff. So if you like doing web stuff, I would highly recommend following and hanging out with him. With that, I'll be back on Monday morning at 7 a.m. Mountain Time to continue working on this CORM with Axum and Rust. All right, have a good one, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.